During my trip to New Orleans this year, I had the honor of attending the city's annual Pride Parade, along with two of my best friends who just happen to be sisters, and their family that I also consider part of mine. The parade was so much fun, and we all had a blast. As a straight woman who supports all human rights, there are still people who do not understand why the LGBT community hold Pride celebrations. The American LGBT community had to work hard for many years to achieve equality and fight for rights that those who always had often take for granted, which is a fair statement when considering the divorce rate in this country. Like being able to marry the person they love when the United States made same-sex marriages legal in the year 2015. TrevorProject.org is a U.S. LGBT support service and helpline for the LGBTQ youth. The Trevor Project is named after the Academy Award-winning 1994 short film titled Trevor. The film is a coming-of-age story set in 1981 about a gay 13-year-old boy that begins to admire his friend, a character named Pinky Faraday, who Trevor develops a crush on, which is later discovered. Trevor narrates his struggles through journaling and is a huge Diana Ross fan. He loves her and her music so much that he wants to dress up as her for Halloween. Because he also enjoys acting, singing, and dancing, he begins to face discrimination and is severely bullied by his classmates. His own parents, who find him being different as disturbing, begin making him endure humiliating daily sessions with a family priest to try and reverse what they consider to be some type of mental delusion. After he begins to suffer a life of torment and alienation by his peers, with no support from his own parents, Trevor attempts to end his own life by overdosing on a bottle of aspirin. Because he survives the ordeal, he captures the attention of a sympathetic candy striper named Jack, who takes him under his wing and not only understands him, but begins to help him through encouragement and by showing him that his life has value and that there is nothing wrong with the way he was born. Jack even buys Trevor tickets to a Diana Ross concert. The film represents what life is like for young gay teenagers and the struggles real-life teenagers face when they are tormented and bullied by an unwilling society to accept them for who they are. The filmmakers banded together and started the Trevor Project to help the LGBTQ youth with a 24/7 crisis and suicide prevention helpline for teens and young adults ages 13 to 24, and is still a functioning organization today. The film has also been adapted into a stage musical titled Trevor the Musical. It premiered in previews at the Writers Theater in Glencoe, Illinois on August 9, 2017, and opened off-Broadway on November 10, 2021. That same year, Radical Media recorded the show for a public release, with Disney Plus acquiring the distribution rights, releasing it on June 24, 2022 for Pride Month. For those who wish, you can watch the film, Trevor, by clicking the end video link at the end, or by finding the link in the description. According to the Trevor Project, the LGBTQ youth are 4 times more likely to take their own lives than that of their straight peers, with one attempting it every 45 seconds and 1.8 million who consider ending their lives every year. By showing pride in who they are, LGBT adults who have already survived a life of scrutiny offer the guidance and support the youth can look up to and follow as positive role models. Showing pride is one of the best ways to instill confidence in the LGBTQ youth. They deserve to be happy and free to love, and the freedom to express that love openly without being scrutinized. It's 2023 and should be all about the LOVE, because love is love. The LGBT community holds celebrations to spread messages of love and support, and to let others who are still struggling with their orientations and identities know that it's okay to be gay, because baby, you were born that way. That may sound cheesy or even cliche, and reflects song lyrics by the talented Lady Gaga. but pride movements are helping others to be fearless and embrace who they are. Teens and young adults are starting to feel more confident about coming out to their parents and friends, and lives are being saved. It is very important for parents to support their children of the LGBTQ community and love them without conditions, like the mother in this final clip that I'm about to present to you. The story of a loving mother and her brave son about the day he overcame his fear to come out to her. People of the world, let me introduce you to one of my dearest friends who holds one of the biggest hearts I have ever known a person to have. A beautiful story told by a beautiful soul, and even a little funny. And she did it in just one take. Here is one fierce mama, Angela Dion Driscoll.
The waterbed.
Tell me about your son.
So when Mark
Who I
came
love.
out to me, I was at work, and he called me up, and he lived in those apartments, and he asked me could we have lunch together, and I said yeah, and so he came pick me up for lunch, and we're in the car, and he looked at me real serious, he goes, Mom, you know I love you, right? And I was like, yeah, I love you too. And then he just started crying. He said, I gotta tell you something. And I looked over there and I stopped. I was like, what's the matter, Mark? Are you on drugs? He was like, no. And he was still crying. I said, buddy, if you did, I'll help you hide the body. And he was like, no. And I said, then what is it? And he goes, you know I'm gay, right? And I was like, is that it? That's it? I said, God dang, boy. The way he was carrying on, I thought something major was wrong. I said, and he goes, I was scared to tell you. And so the guy that I have in mind, which was Nick, which I miss dearly, that's why he wouldn't let me come to the apartment. And he'd be like, well, I'll meet you downstairs or something, because he was afraid to tell me. And then once I met Nick, oh my God.
He was.
It was a beautiful, it was a beautiful relationship.
Yep.
And poor Nick is not with us anymore, but he's with us in heart and memory.
Yep. He was here today, right?
That's right. He sure was.
Beautiful story. Love is love.
For new content and breaking news stories, please be sure to click the notifications to follow along and be notified when updates are available. Don't forget to like, comment, and please feel free to share. You can also join my Facebook group for True Crime and History Time and follow me on TikTok and Instagram. My usernames for those platforms are @Jeri Scarborough Official. And as always, thank you for watching, subscribing, and supporting my channel.